Alrighty then, I wanted to run through really quick an alternate way to make flames with cards. So right now, same setup I did in my last candle thing. We have this little chunk of geometry here, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the mesh light because it's, you know, doing a pretty decent little mesh lighty job of lighting things. I should probably go through and figure out somewhere I checked on use original mesh, so I'll just go ahead and turn that off. So we have this, basically a candle ready for flames. And what we're going to do is the same basic process we've done for every other random card thing so far. I'm just going to make a crappy looking little plane and pop that sort of in here. I'm going to go ahead and assign this a new material, Arnold Standard Surface Shader. And for color, I found this truly glorious, I literally just grabbed a random picture of a flame from the internet and I screenshotted the flame bit. We're going to ignore this little bit down here. We're going to throw that in, and it's upside down. Fantastic. Alright, we're going to turn that right side up, and I'm going to go ahead and just do something really cheap and cough. I'm going to plug in the opacity. I'm just going to use the same file texture as I did before. You should make nice maps, but like this is just a hardcore little demo, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll pop that into opacity, see what we get by way of a render, and it looks pretty gosh darn awful because we need to turn off opacity. And what we have now is a goofy little flame. And this, I mean, honestly, like, since it's literally a picture of fire, you probably can just go ahead and leave it without emission. It's not going to hurt anything. It actually looks better than I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. The downside about cards for stuff like this is if they're facing the camera, you don't see them. So normally what you'd want to do is sort of duplicate this plane a few times and just sort of rotate it a little bit. And that way, let me render actually from perspective camera. That way, no matter which direction you're looking at this from, it always sort of looks like some kind of little flame is happening. So let me see if I can, hopefully this isn't crashing my computer again, cough. But yeah, so I mean, this is pretty much what we have, and I have a pretty janky looking little map down here, which is why it looks kind of weird. The other thing we could do, like I said, is add emission if you were so inclined. And normally you try to make this stuff line up a little better, you do something a little bit more tailored. But let's go ahead and throw on some random emission. I'll make this white for now, and that actually, I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty legit, just being white. To a point where I'm actually a little bit annoyed that it looks so good being white. That's awkward, that looks way better in my mesh light. Card fire, guys. Alright, so let me just sort of, in the spirit of experimentation, crash Maya probably. Just trying to put a little ramp in there to maybe make it like a little bit different colored. Alright, so we're just gonna do from like red, perhaps. So go from red to yellow. But like honestly that looks pretty legit. I was not expecting that to look as decent as it did. But here we are. So yeah, these are our very awkward little card flames, and they look like goofy flames. And like I said, the key to this is doing multiple angles. It might not be a terrible idea if you're ever planning on looking at this from the top to, you know, tilt some of these slightly so that the flame doesn't sort of disappear, but it really depends on, you know, your needs when you're actually doing this stuff. But like, card flames. Looking pretty legit. And for grins, I'm just going to go ahead and render this out. I've brought in my vase from the other thing because I'm not doing anything in any kind of cohesive order. And I'm just going to go ahead and let this render. So yeah,